Hey there, fourth graders! Welcome to a brand new, super exciting explainer. Today, we're going on the absolute ultimate geography adventure across some of the most incredible, breathtaking landscapes you will ever see. We're talking about massive rivers, freezing snowy mountain peaks, and scorching hot sand dunes. Get ready, because we're about to explore the amazing geography of Pakistan. Quick question for you, though, before we pack our virtual bags. Have you ever heard of a mysterious place called the Land of Giants? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a fantasy movie, doesn't it? Well, it's a very real place, and we are going to find out exactly where it is and what makes it so special in just a bit. This amazing explainer is produced by Waqas Ahmed Shah, an educator and AI agents and automation builder for educators, traders, and startups based in Karachi, Pakistan. A huge welcome to all the awesome students joining today's learning adventure. All right, here is our explorer's map for today. We've got 5 epic sections. We'll trace the journey of the Indus, explore the Indus Plains, uncover Deosai, the land of giants, check out the deserts of Pakistan, and wrap it all up with a quick recap and goodbye. Let's kick things off right now with Section 1, Journey of the Indus. 5,000. That is a giant number, right? Well, the Indus River plain is this massive area of incredibly fertile land that gently slopes from the northern mountains all the way down to the southern sea. And because this land is so perfect for growing crops, it's actually home to a human civilization that is a whopping 5,000 years old. People have literally been living and farming here for thousands of years. So, how does this mighty river actually travel? Well, it's quite the road trip. It starts way up high in the Himalayas, near a place called Lake Mansorwar. Up there, it's a wild, rushing mountain torrent. Then it flows down into the plains of the Punjab. From there, it keeps rolling south through Sindh before widening out and finally splashing right into the Arabian Sea just south of Karachi. 3,000 kilometers. That epic journey I just mentioned covers an astonishing 3,000 kilometers. To put that into perspective, imagine driving in a car on the highway for 3,000 kilometers. It would take you days, but the river just keeps flowing constantly, bringing life-saving water to everything in its path. Moving right along to Section 2, the Indus Plains. Because the land changes so much along that huge journey, geographers divide it into an upper and a lower section. Up in the upper Indus Plain, the main river gets some help from its friends. It's joined by 4 amazing tributary rivers: the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, and the Sutlej. All these rivers meet up at a place called Mithankot. Now, even though this area doesn't get a ton of rain, the water from these rivers brings in this rich, muddy soil that makes the ground super fertile. And thanks to a one-of-a-kind canal system built to share all that river water, farmers can grow an unbelievable amount of crops here. We're talking delicious rice and wheat, fluffy cotton, sweet sugarcane, oilseeds, and tobacco. Oh, and fun fact, if you travel near the foothills of the Himalayas to a high, flat area called the Potwar Plateau, you'll find the city of Islamabad sitting right there. Heading further south past Mithankot, we enter the lower Indus Plain, which covers most of the province of Sindh. Down here, a huge network of canals waters the central part. But as you go even farther south, near the city of Thatta, something really cool happens. The river gets super close to the Arabian Sea and actually breaks into several different branches, creating this incredible swampy delta filled with mangrove forests. Okay, here it is, the moment we've been waiting for. Section 3, Deosai, the land of giants. Remember our question from earlier? Well, Deosai is a magical plain located right on the boundary of the mighty Karakoram and western Himalayan mountain ranges, not too far from Skardu. And talk about an extreme contrast. Down in the plains where we're just exploring, it's warm, there are crops everywhere, and tons of trees. But up on the Deosai Plateau, it is literally the world's highest plateau. It's covered in freezing snow for most of the year. In fact, it is so high up and so incredibly cold that absolutely zero trees or shrubs can even grow there. It's just endless, snowy views surrounded by giant mountain peaks. So you might be wondering, how do wild landscapes like this even form? Well, some plains are formed by the wind blowing dirt around or by giant, heavy blocks of moving ice. But they can also be formed by tectonic activities. Tectonic basically means giant, powerful movements deep down in the Earth's crust that push the ground up or pull it down. That's exactly what creates awesome things like these towering mountains and deep plains. Section 4, the deserts of Pakistan. Grab your water bottles, everybody, because we are moving straight from freezing ice to scorching heat. So a desert is basically a barren piece of land with sand everywhere, and it gets very little rainfall. Deserts have totally extreme climates. They can be freezing cold at night and then super, super hot during the day. But there is a real lifesaver out there if you're exploring, an oasis. An oasis is this special, almost magical spot in a dry desert where water naturally comes up to the surface and green plants can actually grow. 17. You can totally drop this fact on your friends later. Pakistan has some seriously huge deserts. And the Thar Desert, with its rolling sand dunes in the east, is actually the 17th largest desert in the entire world. It's so big, it even stretches across the border into the neighboring country. And there are even more deserts to explore. First up is Cholistan, locally known as Rohi. It hosts the biggest sports event in Pakistan, an epic jeep rally where they go racing over the sand dunes. Next is the Thal Desert, located between the Indus and Jhelum rivers, where they actually have enough water for farmers to grow things. And finally, the Indus Valley Desert, the driest of them all. It has extremely freezing winters and boiling summers. And believe it or not, it's home to amazing wild animals like hyenas, leopards, wolves, and urials. Our final desert stop today is the Karakan Desert. This is the only desert in Balochistan, and locals just call it the Sandy Desert. It's absolutely massive, stretching all the way into neighboring Iran. It's also super famous in history because Pakistan conducted its nuclear test right in this very desert at a place called Shagi. Section 5. Quick recap and goodbye. We have covered so much ground today. Let's lock all these awesome discoveries into your brains before we go. Today, we followed an epic 3,000-kilometer river journey starting way up in the Himalayas. We learned how the upper and lower Indus plains use world-class canals to grow tons of crops. We shivered up in the freezing, treeless Deosai Plateau, the legendary land of giants. And finally, we baked in the massive sand dunes of Pakistan's extreme deserts, keeping an eye out for a leafy oasis. What an absolute blast! Thank you all so much for coming along on this explainer journey today. The world is just full of fascinating places, people, and nature waiting to be discovered. Keep exploring, everybody. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow so you don't miss out on our very next learning adventure. So, I'll leave you with this one final thought. From the freezing, snow-capped mountains of Deosai to the scorching, rolling sand dunes of the Thar Desert, which part of this wild journey would you want to step outside and explore first? Think about it, and I'll see you on the next adventure.